I want to say spoilers. Well, that's a little late now. I'm going to have to put it at the beginning.
Welcome to podcast, sponsored by Neural DSP.
Yes, Neural DSP.
Neural DSP. Welcome to the welcome to the last podcast of this year.
That's right. Welcome.
Hey.
Ooh.
Ooh, jolly.
Yeah, just right off the bat, giving you the news, just so you know the business.
Wait, cheers.
What? Oh yeah, cheers.
Not so
There's
good.
my cheers.
Got a beer?
I do.
It's been
Just
a
for
long
old
year.
time's sake, it's a pop lager. Okay, sorry.
Very good.
The days of the beer reviews. This show was a variety show at the beginning.
Yeah.
We had music.
Music.
Oh, the music. That's the one I miss the most.
Music was
Yeah.
good.
Music was fun, but it's hard to get music sometimes. So yeah, this has been a year of podcast. We had a break in January, but since February we've been pumping these out, pumpy
Like,
style.
Boom, 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 like that.
Especially this is the tumultuous year of 2022.
Yes.
So.
And we went to one movie.
Yes,
did,
one
we did.
movie in the theater.
One movie, yeah.
Well, I mean, technically we went.
Yes.
The beginning we went to like 3 at least.
Yeah.
But does that count? Does it?
We'll see what happens when all the big companies reevaluate their businesses, in December, and we'll see what happens in January. Are they going to put things on a streaming? Because they have a backlog of all sorts of magical movies that we've been waiting
Will
for.
Yeah.
Bond
2021.
25 or whatever come out?
Oh yeah, that
Which
was
one?
like the entire year. Will it come out? It's Bond
yeah, that's true.
25.
Oh yeah, the Bond movie and also the Marvel Black Widow movie. That's been on the rack for a year now.
That's
Oh,
right.
I
It was
didn't know.
supposed to come out in May. I forgot about
Dune, that was supposed to come out as well. That's been postponed.
Well,
There's
because
a
with
couple of
Bond, I
big-
just remember I went randomly one day to Google it because I was like, oh yeah, Bond, isn't that supposed to come out? And then I started reading and it said something like, the company that owns the Bond film declined to sell it to, I believe, Netflix for
Oh, yeah.
500 mil or something, 600
that. Oh,
mil.
600 mil.
And they were like, no. And then Disney
But
was
I'm
like,
just think-
maybe us. No.
Yeah, but I was thinking like that is essentially how much money you would get in the U.S. box office for like that
And
kind of
it's
a film.
instantly,
600
you look at
mil.
the bank account, it says plus 600 million.
We'll see. Maybe by the end of the year, when they look at their budgets and they're like, "We have to make this much money by the end of the year, otherwise we are bankrupt." So they might sell them. Crazy
Yeah,
world.
I think time will tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll definitely know.
And also, I heard that Kong versus Godzilla most likely will come out on VOD, which is sad because I wanted to see this in theaters. You want to see a big monster fighting another big monster in theaters, right?
Well, you can now in the theater of your own home.
After that Godzilla movie, I don't know. The last
But it's
one,
Kong. Kong. You can't like. Don't you think? Don't you
Yes.
feel like you want to see
But Phil,
King
this
Kong?
is the same line of thinking the Bond men and women said with the movie. They're like, it's Bond. You can't have it at home. It's Bond.
The last
know.
time Kong fought Godzilla, it was 1963.
There was no big LCD, LED, whatever,
But the,
OLED movies.
the theater is still better than the OLED screen in your house, unless you have a huge OLED screen in your house and it looks
true.
like a movie theater.
Like me, I have 30 OLED screens.
yeah,
30.
yeah.
Just-
Stack
And
them.
you just put on you put on the wallpaper that looks like the architect's room from the Matrix
Oh, yeah.
Reloaded. Oh yeah.
just watching like videos of yourself, alternative universes.
What about those little micro projectors that project onto the wall? You put them like at the bottom of the wall.
Oh, the
What
laser
happened to
ones. Yeah,
those?
they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, laser ones are nice.
Hey, speaking of which, I'm there. If there's one thing I'm excited about, it's an old movie. It's a movie trilogy. It's called The Lord of the Rings. Did you hear about it, Tim? It's coming out soon. The 4K
Did I hear about
version.
Lord of the Rings? It's
The
a good
fork
movie.
edition.
The fork edition. Tim,
I
have you
thought
heard
that was
about
out
it?
already. I thought it was out.
No,
I mean, it
sir.
is out. It is in like 2 days.
Oh, okay. Because
Officially.
I didn't think. I thought when I saw the news, it was like it came out. Like I didn't know it was a
Essentially,
preview.
but it's like a whole
Looking good,
4K. Yeah, it looks great. Like I can't wait to see what it is because, as we all know, the grading for those for the
the
second
grading
and third
is-
films.
Poop.
I mean, it may have been how it was in cinemas, but there's something that they cooked up that's kind of new, so I wouldn't mind seeing what they're doing because I don't know. Like I heard that it was really good.
Really good. Well, if they fix the goddamn floating Frodo head. No.
I thought you were going to say the whole green thing, like, everyone talked about.
Yeah, the green thing was pretty bad,
but
too.
the floating Frodo head will forever be in history, I believe. That's just
They can't. It's part of the movie. You can't look at it. You have to leave floating Frodo with the feather tool, just like...
Yeah.
So we've been pumping these out. It's been a strange year. We'll see what kind of year it'll be next year for movies. But it's pretty busy. It's Christmas time, so we want to take a month off. So we will be missing out on the December festivities. So we thought, why don't we bring a Christmas movie to you guys earlier? So you get that. I almost said key to progression. Oh, you get that.
Key to progression.
No. Two full podcast Christmas
spirit.
Spirit and an episode. So,
can you believe last time it was the last Skywalker Ranch? What was that? The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That was back when we were watching those movies.
That was Christmas. For a long time, Christmas was Hobbit movies. Yeah, and then for a long time, Christmas was Star Wars movies.
It was the Hobbit Dynasty, and then we moved into the Star Wars Dynasty. Long-lasting dynasty,
and that has ended.
All things considered,
the Star Wars Dynasty has ended. They killed it with
with fire,
with snow clones and Return of the Palpatine.
Hey, have you guys seen the film since then?
No,
I
can't. Maybe in years.
It's funny. I had a thought the other day of when we went to see it, and I just remember how it was such a different time watching the 7th movie.
Yeah,
we were so excited, and then you just compare really quick to us rushing to the theater to watch the new one, and within seconds we were laughing. Just different times.
And the bomb threat. Yeah.
And what a story. Yeah, you can listen to it on the last podcast, and if you are brave enough, you can listen to 1,000-hour review of the first.
That was a bad time.
The first of
it was a great time. I have nostalgic memories of that time.
Oh, for sure. 5 hours though.
Yeah, that was crazy. So those dynasties are over. There's no new dynasty for Christmas at the moment. So we're doing a Christmas movie. Well, I looked for Christmas movies. Ain't much going on unless you want to watch some god-awful Hallmark Christmas miracle movies, which we did, and sometimes you do.
Tim,
you can. Yeah.
The one I'm waiting for is me and my wife. We watched this movie called, I forgot what it's called. It was this princess who goes to some land far away in Eastern Europe. I love this. This is perfect. They always action movies are male fantasies of being heroes and killing dudes and Christmas
and
Prince. That's what it's called. Have you seen that?
I love the Christmas Prince. I've seen it.
Watched it too.
And it was so
pretty good actually. It's the first one. It's like a nice cheese.
It's with Vanessa, right? Vanessa Hudgens.
No, that's the Princess
Vanessa
Switch.
People Will Die and COVID. Oh, that's
different.
Okay.
Yeah. There's many movies with princesses.
There's many Hallmark movies.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, we watched one last year. I wanted to die. Was it the Christmas wedding planner? What was it? Something like that.
Oh, we didn't even finish that one. Did we watch it together?
No, I think we did. I think we finished the whole thing.
Maybe you guys did alone.
No. You guys were there. Paula, you were there. Remember, I was super angry about the movie.
Finish it?
I think we did.
How did it end?
I don't know. Probably
happy ending.
Dude, how do these movies end?
Or something?
It's like she's like a wedding planner, and it's like,
oh yes,
her friend is getting married, and it's like, and there's a hot dude.
I remember.
So it's so funny.
Yes,
it's so funny how I can't even think of any of their I can't see their faces. But I'm good with faces more than I am with names.
She basically was planning a wedding, but then she meets this guy and she doesn't like him. But of course, they get together and get married.
Yes, and he was like a other wedding something I don't know.
Like that.
But she works in a coffee shop, and she he was mean,
right.
but she's
always the coffee shop.
The ones that they have.
He was rude and he was mean and unrefined.
They have a coffee shop, a church, and then a apartment. And that's everything happens.
Do you know those sets reminded me of The Room? You know, those the brick wall, that kind of thing.
So back to the topic. So Christmas movies. So I looked around, not much, And then I saw this weird thing. It said Fatman, and it had Mel Gibson on the picture of it. And I was like, what is this? And I read the synopsis, and I was like, huh, this kind of like this idea reminds me of very vaguely reminds me of a Christmas movie I really love from 10 years ago. So I thought, this could be a combo. So I've chosen for us to watch Fatman, a movie came out this year. It's think of old man Santa type of deal. I think somebody watched Logan, got inspired. It's Mel Gibson is a rough and tumbling, salt of the earth.
He's a rough
Santa,
rough and tumble, salt of the earth Santa.
With his wife, and the world is not good. Children are not behaving. And he delivers 50% coal to children, right? And the government is like, well, we won't pay you, Santa, for the toys you don't deliver, so you have to do a contract work for the military. A plot point that doesn't lead anywhere, but meanwhile, a spoiled child gets coal from Santa, gets angry, sends a mercenary killer who has a grudge against Santa because he gave him just a toy when he was a child
small car.
Small toy, yeah. To go hunt down Santa, which is basically the premise of this movie is 90% setup and then 10% is payoff with a little battle. And then Santa kills said killer and then threatens little boy something, and then the movie ends. That's what we watch. It's called Fatman. And we'll talk about the other movie. We see the old. I forgot the olden ways. And the other movie we watched is Rare Experts. I am lost today. Listen,
Rare Experts is a certified Tim film.
Oh, it is. It is a very Tim film. I love it. Phil Tim.
Right.
Tim film. I saw it when it came out. It's based on a short video from 2003 called Rare Experts. You can check it out on Vimeo. It has some of the actors. It was just a spoof of like
was it the same Finnish dudes?
Yeah, the same Finnish dudes. And essentially it's about a group of Finnish hunters living in the wilderness where close to them in Russia some English people are digging out Santa, who has been buried in a mound for thousands of years because, as legends tell, Santa, it wasn't so nice as we tell him in stories. He was this big, bearded, weird creature we don't ever see.
Demon.
And a bunch of demon thing with big horns.
He had a baby eater? I mean,
he was eating children, bad children. So the people, indigenous people of the land, froze him and put him in a big mountain for good. And this Englishman really wanted to get Santa. So he started digging. And as he started digging, they dug him out. But then these elves, these old men, started walking around. And this little boy and his father living in a house, they catch one of these elves. This old, creepy old man. And this leads to all sorts of shenanigans.
That we don't know it's Santa's helper.
It's true.
We think it's Santa.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
a very key point.
Yes. They think they capture Santa, but it turns out just one of the elves. Yes, Santa is this big demon creature. And then they found out these little elves, and the elves captured all the children of the village. So these three Finnish men and child Piotr, who's our main hero, who's without a mother, living with his dad, hard life. They find Santa, real Santa, blow him up, and capture all the Santa's little helpers, little elves, these old men, naked old men. And then at the end of the movie, they start training him to send them around the world as Santas, and which was the premise of the short movie. Yeah, that's the premise of the short movie. It's like an ad of like you have whiskeys, and it's like rare, authentic Scottish whiskey, and it's basically them like hunting old people, like rare, authentic Finnish Santas. Captured in the wild and then trained to be sent. That's like the idea, and this is like the origin story of that video. So yeah. So what did you guys think of my movies?
I want to say spoilers. Well, that's a little late now. I'm going to put it at the beginning.
Yeah, spoiled everything. Sorry.
And also Johnny hit theme song. Thank you. That was
Thank
the
you,
last
Philip.
Christmas.
I am a
late
mess
today.
today. I am a mess. I am not. Busy day.
Yep.
Thank you,
It's
Philip.
okay.
It's a very jolly Christmas theme.
Johnny with he knew we were gonna bring up Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Continue. What did we think about it? Let's go.
Yeah, what did you guys think about movies?
So I have to say that I actually liked Fatman better than.
Oh, stab in the heart.
Yeah. So the
What'd you like
Piotr
Fat Man
movie
better?
Well, let me tell you. So the Piotr movie, I was always wondering what kind of movie it was while I was watching it. I wasn't sure, but luckily early on I figured out that it's like kind of a fun type movie. Like not fun, but it's like almost like a silly premise, but done kind of seriously, right? So then you get this kind of weird tongue-in-cheek. Everyone's acting seriously, but you know that the whole concept is like silly.
Yeah.
And I think as you watch the movie, it progressively becomes more like that. Well, it wasn't a bad movie. It's just that I think that I for some reason didn't like it as much. Like it wasn't so engaging. I'm not sure why.
Is it because of the language, maybe?
No, I don't think so. I just think maybe just the however it was done. Listen though, I thought it was kind of though a scary concept with when I thought that the elf was Santa. Yeah, it was pretty scary. I have to say, like I wasn't like scared per se, but it was the concept was scary, especially when he gets trapped in that little wolf pit, and then they're trying to like chop him up, and then like when his kid comes near, it's like he's attracted to the kid to eat or not because I thought he was going to eat the children, right? That was Santa.
I thought
so the kid is like he's reading the books and he finds out like Santa eats children. Like the original legends are like it's not about the coals, so like he eats the children, so he's really scared. So once they capture that Santa and the Santa sniffing him, you're like, oh my goodness, this is Santa's gonna eat him.
And that was to me like a pretty interesting concept. They had some really good, like I don't know what the budget was for the movie. It seems like maybe a lower budget, right?
It was like $2 million.
They had some like really good kind of creepy Santa shots, looking at
in the meat room.
People. Yeah, in the meat room.
Just sitting
It was
there
so
naked.
good. I like that. Well, for me, I loved the tone of it because it was creepy. It was, you could tell that it was also kind of funny, right? But it was also like, it has like this feeling of dread, and I love it because it's Santa Claus.
That's true, yeah. I think maybe the ending was where, for me, it kind of lost its, I don't know, what it was maybe going for. Where at the end, it's just like, it's, pure silliness at the end. And they're like, we have all these, naked men.
These naked old people.
It's like, we'll sell them, and then they end like Indiana Jones style.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Sorry, I lost you guys there for a second, but yeah. Like I heard Indiana Jones, and I wanted to point that out. It's like the John Carpenter like vibes sometimes. Sometimes it's like Spielberg vibes. It's like very that 80s and 70s adventure horror movie.
Didn't know, but I am pleasantly surprised though that they went the silly actiony vibe at the end, because I was a little concerned it being Finnish, that I thought maybe they would just be like really depressing. I thought maybe like all the children would be eaten. And I thought that maybe they would just die or something. And I was like, well, and it would just end with like Santa going back on the streets, continuing to be the demon man.
Oh yeah, like Santa now walks the earth.
Yeah. I thought like that's going to be the end. I was like, it's going to be kind of depressing to end on that note. But no, it was, fun. Like more fun.
Yeah. It looked good too. Movie looked pretty good.
Yeah. There's some like CGI shots.
There's some shots that weren't that great.
That was bad.
Helicopter stuff, but the rest of the stuff was practical. So it looked good.
Like Piotr, what's his name?
Piotr.
It was courageous child at the end. He was just like, I'm not coming back. Tell my dad what I did.
What I did. Dude, I love those like details of like when he's rocking around in his underwear and like his boots, and then his dad in his pajamas cooking.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
the objects they have, like the lamp, that square lamp, and like the pen with the multicolor pen. Like these were all like super European like.
Well, I wanted to say that
items.
What was interesting was the dad. Takes you a while to figure out what kind of guy he is. at the beginning, I thought that he's like really mean, you know, a not kind parent. And then later you find out, like you said, he's like in his tights making gingerbread cookies. And then, you know, later he's just like trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good how they did that. You're not really sure what everyone's like. And then at the end, everyone's just buddies.
Yeah. What I really thought of at the beginning, because you had that eccentric, again, it's like I just started to think he reminds me of Tolt from like Indiana Jones, from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And that he's the rich man, American, I think, English rich man.
I can't remember.
You know,
the workers were English.
Who funded this excavation in this mound right next to Pietro's little house in the forest up in the northern icy world of the Northern Lights. And I like the beginning where he was like telling the head of the workforce, like, don't, you know, it said no smoking, no bad language. It said be good. Remember that little list?
Oh, yes, the little instructions.
The instructions. And I thought that was going to be like, unfortunately for me, that felt like that kind of went nowhere because we really didn't.
Oh, that's a reference to another short they did.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was supposed to be because of Santa, you know?
Yeah, because Santa. But that's the thing. Like, I thought that, because I saw the trailer a long time ago, Tim. You showed it to us, or you were like, look at this film, Rare Exports. 10 years ago, you showed it to us.
I remember that too, yeah.
We never saw it. Yeah. And so when I saw the trailer, the old man that they capture, who just turns out to be an elf, actually, I thought that was just Santa Claus, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the whole point, right? It was supposed to be
that was
like,
kind of the whole movie.
Yeah, like the
a bait and switch.
Yeah. Expectations.
But also, what I like about this film is that it's nice and it's short. You know, it's nice.
Oh yeah,
but an hour. It was an hour 20.
Yes.
Well,
nice. You know. But I think my favorite, well, besides, you know, like the interaction with the dad and kid, I really like that they put in that it's not. You can feel a little bit of it, like it has a little bit of, even though it's a silly movie, like an action horror, you have a little bit of depth, you know, and it feels very European, like real. It doesn't feel, you know, very surfacey, you know, the actors kind of put it in there. But I think like the trio, the three Huntmen, I really appreciate it compared to other movie. Fatman is just like how Fatman feels very like, even though it's maybe higher budget, but like the effort put into it, like as far as costume and like set dressings and design, it just feels like a TV movie that no one cares about. Like if you look at the three guys for the Rare Experts, they all have their colors, their silhouettes, like they have really distinguished, you know, characters, right? If you picture them right now, you can see them, you know. The dad is the gray guy in gray with the scruffy hair, you know, the leader, you got the big sniper man with the hat, the green, you know, jacket, and then you have their friend,
and you got the guy with
Santa.
the aviators.
Yes, and they're very distinct. And like the sets, everything is just very nice. Compared to
like if we're gonna compare it to Fatman, and we didn't talk about Fatman too much, but what disappointed me the most about Fatman, I think, is just on a visual level, it was just that it felt like the sets were filmed somewhere. Like it didn't have any meat to it. Didn't have any texture. Most of the places felt like they found a room and they filmed it with their cool cameras. You know.
Yeah. I think that was like the biggest, like to me, like the difference was just like watching how uninspiring it was just to see anything happen. Like there's no visual direction at all. Even like the lighting was like super TV lighting where you can tell like it's not matching the practicals, you know, like you seeing like a light behind them and then you look at the character and it's like lit through 5 different like, you know, it's like an old Hollywood movie. You're like, right, come on guys.
Even old Hollywood movies had better lighting than that.
That's true.
But see, for instance, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I was just gonna go, Jacob.
What I wanted to say is that what I liked about Fatman was that I liked the tone they got, because I've never really seen a movie. They took like this whole Santa Claus thing like very seriously, but not in a magical sense. And I thought that was cool.
Yes.
I've never seen that done
I thought
before.
that was fun.
They tie it in with the U.S. government, and it's like he's working for literally the subsidy, you know, and then, you know, then they give him this contract. And, you know, granted, I'll agree with you guys, like execution-wise, there's a lot of things that weren't done well, but I like that they went with it like a straight face. And then,
Yes,
Santa
I agree.
is serious, and you just believe it. You're like, man, this is this weird guy. Not this weird guy, but this, Santa
Chris.
guy. You're not quite sure if he is magical, but it's not, with like sparkles in the air. And then the ridiculous premise of like this assassin, and then this kid hiring the assassin.
The kid who looks like Ben Shapiro. Little Ben Shapiro kid.
It's like the strangest like concept of this
and then
evil
just like
kid.
he's going to murder Santa, and he's like traveling up all the way north, and I don't know, I just thought the interactions were so silly but funny. Like, he's calling this guy up, and he's like trying to be nice, and then he ends up swearing, and then the guy hangs up with him because he can't talk about it because it's a government secret. And it's like silly, but I liked it.
So what else you go ahead, Phil.
I think that what I liked about Fatman was that I was engaged in the premise and what they were promising with their story, right? But what I'm so disappointed with Fatman is how the story was executed. It really didn't feel like they were going all out with it. And I don't mean that in a story sense. I meant just executing the film, like directing the film itself, It didn't feel like it had charm. It didn't have like wit. It didn't have personality, right?
Would you guys
and also
say if
there's many things that I was disappointed that they didn't pay off. One of the big things that I kept seeing in Fatman was that you could see Chris, like you could see that he has major strength, superhuman strength. Like remember when he was making that phone call, and he has healing abilities. And he has healing abilities. And I thought that would, and I thought it was going to be like when I was watching the movie, because we could see iDubbbz.
You see iDubbbz
driving. The actor who the guy, the hitman.
Oh, okay.
He looks like he's traveling to the North Pole or wherever that was, Alaska. I'm guessing Canada. I don't know. He's traveling all the way up there, and I thought it was going to be this big build up for them to clash, right? And that's why you show Kris Kringle with like just showing how strong he is, and I thought that's going to come into play. I was so ready for that, and then the climax is the thing that kind of really disappointed me with that.
But that's so funny because like I thought that it was really like it was a sort of neat film where they don't overemphasize anything in a sense, which is why I liked it, because at the end, he battles Santa, and I'm not expecting this, super brawl where they're, wrestling in the snow. I like that they kept it kind of mysterious. That's like, who is this Santa? Like, how? Like, what? Like, then you're wondering, like, when he goes out there, he's like, I didn't become, Santa just because that was nice. And he, whips out these guns. And then you're thinking to yourself, like, is he, like, bluffing? Or, is he for real? Maybe he will step in and, like, just kill him and then everything's good. But, I like that they kept that. You're not sure what the situation is with him.
Right.
And then when they just like battle it out, it felt very realistic to me. It's just like they just do this shoot off. And then when he kills him, I thought the movie was going to end again. Here I am thinking about depressing endings, but I thought he was going to kill him and then they're all going to die. Like I thought that was
like both the
Christmas spirit
and everyone dies. It's like the end of Santa.
Tarantino ending.
Yeah. And then
I was thinking if this was directed by Quentin Tarantino, I feel like that would have been great.
Oh, for sure.
Also,
that would be some great conversations between Santa and other characters.
And the little kid.
Yeah. I think I agree with Phil is that like it did miss was missing like a punch. Like if I compare it to Rare Experts, you have that scene where you finally reveal the real Santa in the big snow. And I think that has that emotional impact that you, in a movie where you have some kind of supernatural subtext that kind of keeps like moving back and forth where you're not sure like, what is actually like the big, out of this reality kind of element where this doesn't go anywhere. Like if you like, even if what Phil says, if he revealed his superpower, like he just went and ripped the guy apart or something. Like that's a terrible example, but you know what I mean. Like
but
something.
I know what you mean, but I think that's why I liked it, because it was so. I don't know. For me, it's just different. That it was just a slice of whatever this Santa universe is. I've never seen a Santa universe like that. And we almost get this mundane almost episode, because at the end he's like, oh, people have tried to assassinate me before. And I don't know, that to me was like, oh, well, why not? Like that's a simple Christmas movie. Pop it on, watch a guy try to assassinate Santa. Ends up, it's all good in the end and good to go.
So let me ask you a question, guys. So I was thinking about this movie. Like I said at the beginning, it feels like a first draft kind of thing, like where they had an idea, and all the jokes and everything is like, it feels like a first draft. Like the first idea they have, they put all in the script, and that went and got shot. Like, especially like, you know, how the guy is traveling to kill Santa for like 90% of the movie. That's it. Like, that's just a setup for something. Like, there's nothing with, like, there's the whole army thing, which makes no difference to the story whatsoever. I mean, he just shoots all the soldiers. It doesn't, It has no impact. Like it feels like a second draft would go like, okay, what's the point? But what I wanted to ask you guys is, I was thinking about this when I was talking to Emma when it was done. Like, what was the idea behind this? Like, was there like, because they're going all about this, you know, the world has changed, kids are bad these days, and I was trying to figure out what is the message. Is like the movie trying to say that, you know, the world is bad and the kids need more discipline, or the world is bad and all these kids, they deserve better toys because all these kids who got coal, you know, came to kill Santa. Santa should have been nicer to them and just got them the toys. I can't decide what the movie was trying to say in the end. Anyway,
I don't think
or were they trying to say anything at all?
That's why I like.
Was there a message?
I think there's no message. Like, I think that at the end, I think it's just Santa's doing his job.
Santa's doing his job.
He believes in something, right? And he's gotten to the point where it's like he's not sure if he believes it, you know.
But what changed his mind in the end? Because he changes, like he was like, "I'm revigorated. I know what to do."
Money.
Wait, explain.
Because he got the contract with the military, remember? And then they have money to keep working, right? But that's why I like the whole thing.
But he said like he's going to change or something like that. He was like going on like, "Oh, this is going to be different this time." Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think at the end, right?
Mrs. Claus kind of gave him like these files of like these kids that he gave toys
like
to,
he changed their lives,
that inspired them and changed their lives, which I thought was very touching. And I wished it was is if all those kids, those adults, were actually characters in the movie, like the lady who was in the Canadian border is one of them.
See, that's why
I don't know.
I like it though, because again, it's a slice of that universe where it's like, this Santa probably is not going to be able to see those adult, you know, kids.
Oh yeah,
he just gets it's just showing you what it's like to be this weird subsidized Santa Claus in America, wherever he is.
I think he's in Alaska.
Yeah, and it's like he just opened these files, and it's like, I don't know. I think that I agree with you guys that, you know, probably should have been developed more, and like they could have emphasized certain things more. But I just think as a concept, it's just so different. I've never seen anything like that, especially for like a Christmas movie. Because usually Christmas movies, they go either all out, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying with this example of the rare exports. Like, I think they did it really well. I'm just saying that's going, you know, all out. They went in this kind of moody thing, and then at the end they go bombastic, and it's an adventure story, and there's explosions and stuff. But this movie's like kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of boring, but to me in an interesting way, you know. You reminded me.
Yeah, I do agree. It's very boring. I was having
like, but I'm saying like boring in a sense of like you're just kind of looking into like, what is this? You know, what is this universe? That's interesting. It's like
I agree with Jacob. Like, money, I was curious.
Taxes. There's the government is involved, and then, you know, Santa Claus is sad, and then he gets a contract.
It's a strange concept.
He's like happy, and he's like, oh, now we can pay for stuff, and it's kind of realistic in that way, and I thought that's why I think it's interesting. And then it's like, he doesn't have a big movie change where he's like, oh, epiphany. He wakes up, he's like, I'm going to change.
Yeah, and he gets all magical, right? He puts on the white and red.
No, here he's just like, something triggers him. And like I said, it's a combination of different things. Like he kind of maybe he's out of that, you know, debt thing. He kind of like is thinking maybe there's still some hope. He's not like expecting the kids are going to change, but he decides to be a little proactive. You know, it's kind of realistic, just little changes. And at the end, he's just kind of like, you know what? It's just worth doing it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Also, I have to Mel Gibson. Like, I haven't seen him in 500 years.
What was the first thing you remember Mel Gibson from?
The last thing I saw Mel Gibson in was
Passion of the Christ.
Was that one? No. Yeah,
He
was in the
directed
film.
that.
That's true.
He's not Jesus.
I was just like thinking, what?
Yeah,
When
well, I was
was he- when
thinking,
did he
I was
play
thinking
Jesus?
myself, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
Well, that's the last time we heard of him, like, big time.
No, last time I heard
say.
of him was that movie trailer in 2006. I remember as a like when I lived in America in 2006, there was this film trailer with him and some kind of like beaver puppet.
Oh,
and I was
that's
like,
Oh, yeah,
Mel
the
Gibson
beaver.
is
That's what it's
horrible.
called.
and that's it.
Well,
And then he
that's when they were
he
writing
left.
about him like bad and stuff. He like
Then
got
he was
bad press.
outcast. He was outcast.
Yeah, the Hollywood.
Yeah, he had some
outcasted him.
issues with, like, alcohol and bad things he said and getting into
Wait,
fights and
is he
things.
back now or what?
Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't
it
call
seems
Fat
so.
Man back.
Okay, but you know
I
what I'm
don't-
saying? Like, is he like trying to act again?
Oh, he's
I
been
think he's
acting
cool.
like I'm looking at this, like he's got, like, he did something in 2019, 18, a couple of movies in 2016. So he's been in Expendables. That's the last time I probably saw
Oh, he
him.
wasn't that?
Yeah, I think that's the last time I saw him. Expendables 3. He was Machete Kills, playing a bad guy.
Machete.
Oh, he directed Apocalyptico. That was like his direction.
Apocalyptico.
Apocalyptico. Apocalyptico.
He directed that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I watched it.
Yeah,
It had a weird shutter rate.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was-
Digital cameras. It was
the
back
Force.
when
You
digital
were like,
cameras
you know,
started.
Make it super, super low shutter.
Yeah. He did
Oh.
it. What?
I just wanted to say, like, everyone talks about. I just realized because, like, I felt like I really liked Mel Gibson in this movie. He just, like, I totally forgot his kind of style because everyone talks about John Goodman, which is kind of like a similar thing where he can be tough and scary.
Goodman.
But
Oh,
he can
okay.
also
John Goodman,
be.
he was most
He
recently
also
watched him in
he can also be warm.
Llewellyn.
Yeah, yeah. Llewellyn.
Yeah. Did John Goodman ever play Santa? He must have.
Probably. He must have.
So guys,
man.
when was? Do you remember what was the first thing you remember Mel Gibson from?
That's a great question. The first
What
thing-
Women Want.
Yes, What Women Thank you, Phil. It took
What
the words out of
Women
my mouth.
Want,
That's right. I watched it on the plane.
dude.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a deep cut right there.
What, you remember?
I remember seeing bits of it, like they're having sex or something like that, and because I saw this as a kid, and that was
me too.
you know like the. And it was like the most impression thing because like they were having sex, obviously, but it was
Yeah.
like he knew what she wanted and she was like screaming like crazy. And I was like,
Well,
what is going on? Why is
listen
that
to this.
woman?
Here's an
in
interesting
pain?
story that I remember when.
Why is this woman in pain?
So when I was growing
This movie
up,
came out in 2000, but that means we would have been 11, Tim.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Maybe I knew about it. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
I mean, I
but
know
don't
Braveheart. I know Braveheart, but I've not seen it. That's the only time like
I haven't seen Braveheart either.
Yeah, we should watch Braveheart for this movie podcast at some point.
what I
I've
wanted
seen
to say
so
was-
many essays about Braveheart, though.
Wait,
I know
Braveheart?
every inconsistency, but I've never seen the
Yeah.
movie.
You never watched it? I watched it once,
No.
like 10
The
years ago.
Flicker Crisp edition.
Like a crisp.
Is
Yeah,
inside joke. There
Braveheart.
you go.
He's in
Wasn't he-
Casper? Oh, he has a cameo. Sorry.
Oh. Hey, what's
should
like,
watch
what's like
Casper
his
too.
most famous movie?
Okay, so
Braveheart?
he's Braveheart. Oh, yeah. Well, I would go Mad Max. That's where he started, right?
Mad Max. Yeah, he
That was
Mad
the
Max
original
1 and
Mad
2.
Max.
That was
Isn't
his
he
first one.
Australian?
Yes.
Yes, but he has an American accent.
Crazy.
I think he grew up
Yeah.
in America.
I don't know, but those was his first movies. That was like the big one. And then in the 80s, it was all about the lethal weapons.
Oh yes, Lethal Weapon.
But Phil, wait, listen.
Yeah.
Wikipedia tells
Frank's
me things.
favorite.
It tells me that he's
Yeah?
an American actor, but he has U.S. and Irish citizenship.
Oh, so he's not
Huh.
Australian at all.
So I guess he's not Australian. He just went over to
No, his
to
mother,
Australia to shoot.
his grandmother was born in Australia.
Okay.
I think my first
Irish
movie,
citizenship, and he's making a Scottish movie.
But he is an Australian permanent resident.
Huh.
Honestly, don't listen to me. I mean,
You
these
took
tidbits of
me a lot.
Wikipedia. Who knows what I'm saying?
Took me a lot.
dude. Now I'm thinking this wasn't Mel Gibson. There's a movie I saw where a dude gets frozen in time, and they're like in the 50s, and then he gets unfrozen in like the 80s, and he's like helping this like kid whose dad left. And I always thought that was Mel Gibson, and now I can't
Brendan
find
Fraser?
that movie. Is it
You
Brendan
talking
Fraser?
about? You talking about the Cro-Magnon? No, the what's his?
No.
No.
50s man or something.
Or
50s
do you mean
Man?
Blast from the Past?
No.
Was
Wait,
that?
wait. Let me see.
Tim, but there was also
Mel-
a famous series Mel Gibson is in. Lethal Weapon.
What is it?
Series. You mean Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon. Frank Ireland's favorite show.
Oh yeah, it is Mel Gibson.
I'm so
it's
tired.
called. You should watch. So how have you watched Lethal Weapons, the series?
Yes, I watched the first one.
Wow, I didn't watch any.
Immunity. I would recommend the first 3. Don't watch the 4th one. He cuts his hair and it sucks. And Chris Rock is in it. It's not. Joe Pesci
one
comes
was a
in
lot
second
more
one.
80s than I expected.
Why?
Just the vibe, the whole vibe.
So, oh, what? Oh God, we gotta watch this. The fuck? Okay, so Forever Young is the movie. It was released in 1992. It stars
this rings a bell.
Mel Gibson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Elijah Wood.
Forever.
This is one of those movies when you watch as a kid and you have no idea who these people are. I knew who Mel Gibson
it's
is.
like you watch on a VHS.
Yes. Or on TV.
On TV.
If you're from Europe. Dude, Elijah Wood is a little kid? This blows my mind. We gotta
Also,
watch
do you
this.
remember that he was a voice
This sounds.
of the chicken run?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The rooster Rocky.
This was a selling point for my brother that he
The
said.
chicken and Chicken Run. There's all chickens.
Did you know in a Chicken Run it's Mel Gibson?
An amazing synopsis. First of all, yeah, it's a rooster, not a chicken.
That's
I don't get the name right.
And the pig says to
then-
the horse, "Hey man, why the long face?" That's all I know from the
Chicken
trailer.
Run was heavily marketed in the United States.
Oh yeah,
Really?
at Burger King.
Yeah,
Save
everything
the
was tied in
chickens.
Chicken Run. And I remember watching television. It was like every other commercial was like a TV spot.
For
Good missed
Chicken
a
Run.
chance there to have KFC sponsor it.
Chanticleer.
Or what's it
Have
called?
Mel Gibson in your bucket. Eat it.
So what's the other place called?
Which what? What?
Chicken. Chick-fil-A. There we go.
Chick-fil-A.
Did I say that already?
No.
Chick-fil-A. So yeah, Mel Gibson. So
We
yeah,
were
that's
soldiers. I remember that.
We were
Watch it, though.
soldiers.
Oh,
Hacksaw Ridge.
we were soldiers. What is we were? Oh, these are like 2000. I remember like the $1 Million Hotel or something like that. It's like super brutal or something like that. I've been watching it. I was like, what is this, Mel Gibson?
What is this, Mel
Shit.
Gibson?
So let's not talk about Mel Gibson.
Okay,
I want
we're
to talk
done, we're
about.
done.
I want to talk about one of my favorite things about Rare Experts. I love the mixture of like that folklore imagery.
Oh yes.
And I wanted to like, you know, there's a level of stuff that we talked about and we love in an episode of Phil and Jane Conversation, you know, Krampus. I mean, all of these traditions of Christmas, you know, they're all kind of mushed together when all these Slavic and Scandinavian and Germanic tribes got, you know, Christianized. So, and, you know, they took over Christmas, the 25th, as a celebration. Usually they had their own winter solstice celebrations at that time. So I just love that. So what did you guys think of,
I
like the
thought you would like
design
that.
of
That's when-
Santa and the
When I
weird
was
old
seeing those
man running
images, I was
around?
thinking like, I know Tim would like this.
Tim would like this. Yeah.
The old folklore.
I can imagine Tim making this film, and he's like,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna have a bunch
definitely.
of old guys, and he's gonna just laughing. He's just
But I think
laughing.
Tim's version would be
Naked old
different
people
because-
freezing in the snow.
No. But I think Tim's version would be more
They'll
extreme.
have
Like,
torches.
You know, the naked Santa wouldn't be like a normal actor. He would be like this crazy, you know, CG, like super skinny Santa who's like his stomach is like sucked in.
Imagine the Gollum now.
Yeah, and then like the long beard, and then you have these shots of like these glowing eyes. It'd be really interesting.
It's so creepy. Like he doesn't even. They never talk. They're just staring,
Yeah.
and they like the little blink in the eyes.
Yeah, honestly, that was weird. What confused me the most with like their lore is like, remember they found that U.S. passport on him?
Oh yeah, what is that like? I was
And
thinking
I tried
about
to
that.
figure out like, were these like children or something that like got like
That was
transmorphed?
no. The for some reason, just the jacket was one of the workers on the dig.
Oh,
Because remember they killed him, and I guess they were cold, so they took their
I thought it was supposed to be like that they were like kids before, and then they like, you know.
I thought that they were
Oh.
just. I thought they were just
Santa-
people that got possessed or something.
Exactly, and they're
Yeah.
stuck for like hundreds of years.
Yeah, like they were like roaming the forest until Santa returns. They just like because like they lost like when they killed Santa, like they lost the you know the magic controlling them. They were
Yeah.
just kind of like the zombies. They were like lost their purpose.
Well, I thought it was gonna be like a classic movie, you know, Mechanism, where they're like, oh, they're like, you know, the spell has been broken, and they're like, where am I?
Yeah, me too. I thought that was gonna happen.
Where's my wife and children?
Yeah, I thought so.
They've been dead for thousands of years.
How does the spell work then? Like, I'm confused.
Okay, I know, Tim, I don't know what you guys think, but I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to see Santa
So
come out
that was interesting
from the
I was
ice.
thinking about that, and I have two opinions. And one is that I think that they did that because
for the kids at home. For the kids at home, there's a big hanger that has the actual giant Santa Claus in there, but he's encased in ice like Megatron in, in Transformers 2007, the Michael Bay masterpiece.
The horns.
Yeah, the horns.
The horns sticking out, and like a giant stick,
he's
like giant, like really giant,
like think of like a mammoth.
Even bigger, I would say. Yeah. Much bigger.
So,
and you see like drawings and illustrations as the kid is researching about Santa, like finding out, the secrets. And you have like these medieval and like 18th century drawings of like Santa, different forms. And there's one where he's like a huge dude with horns and like a long beard, and he's just like walking and eating a child in the forest.
Also, I'm confused because is this based on actual folklore? Because like I'm confused about Santa. I always thought that this is, this reminds me of Krampus and Saint Nick, right? Because like Krampus is more like an eater of children.
Well, the thing is,
what Santa's doing, eating children.
Well, the thing is that Santa Claus is like a mixture of all these things. Like you have the Saint Nick, but like it's all mushed depending on which which nationality you're from. Because essentially Santa is Saint Nicholas, right? It's just Saint Nicholas was a 4th century Greek bishop that was the saint of 25th of December. So he became the saint of Christmas, and he was about and the whole giving was for the 3 wise men bringing the gifts for Jesus. So like that came in, and then it just kind of like molded around. Some pagan put in the Krampus.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to figure out how come Santa was bad. Like I always thought that all these iterations he's like good.
Well, I don't know if this was like they made this up for the movie, like just combine a bunch of like folklore and make up their own lore, or this is actual like Finnish version of it, like Santa Claus
Finnish
is like is it Finnish? Sorry, Finnish.
That's Santa Claus with a CLAWS.
Yeah, like it's like that's the thing. I don't know, because like it's all over the place. Because you have what? Sorry, I was googling.
No, I listened to the Claus and Claus.
Oh yeah.
But were you disappointed? I was kind of disappointed. I was
let me tell you my two opinions. Number one,
go.
That, okay, I'm going. Is that they probably did it because it was like a little trick, because budgetary constraints.
Yes.
This way, but listen, it leads me to my second point, which is I actually think that I appreciate that they didn't show Santa, because this left the movie kind of, it is what it is, right? Like they didn't have the money to like show it, do it justice, right? Mm-hmm. So they just did this. And in the end, I think you'd be more disappointed if they had like a really crappy CG monster running around. You'd be like, what is this? So I think it's better that they did.
You're right. It's like Aliens. This was just like Aliens. That's what I wanted to say. This is Christmas.
And it makes it a little more realistic because like
Claus
in this situation, they wouldn't like, unearth. They wouldn't chisel them away just to see. They're going to have to explode them because, it's bigger problems out there.
Yeah, they don't care. It's like, just kill it.
But that's also a weird story too, because like I always wonder, it's like, they're literally killing Santa Claus. I'm not saying Santa Claus shouldn't be killed in this universe. Yeah. But it's strange.
But it's like even like goes with the whole, like when they were like just selling the old people for money. It's just they're so weird. It's like, and I think they were like, who cares about this tradition of like, whatever the old, these are like working men. They're like, I don't care about whatever this.
Yeah, and the biggest disappointment for them was their reindeer that were killed.
Yeah,
that was like
I love that. And they're always trying to get the same price back from that, because they're like, oh, that's worth
35,000
plus VAT.
Plus VAT, yeah. It's like, but I know you guys are like undecided, but I think even now and back then, I really enjoyed the fact that it never showed them. It is like Alien, what you don't see is scarier that you do see.
No,
I think
I'm not undecided. I'm telling you that I think they did a good job.
Oh, okay.
I'm just personally disappointed because I want to know what it looks like.
No, but I'm saying, Phil, that if they did, it would be
I know.
based
I
on
agree.
It wouldn't live up to your expectations.
Yeah,
There's so much build up and the pictures. It's like maybe if it was like a game or something like that where you can like get the feeling of it, but like for a movie, I think it was a good decision. so
Speaking
fun.
of which, this reminded me a lot of Krampus. Have you seen that one? The Michael
The
Dougherty
American one?
movie? Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Me
Maybe I
either.
was expecting too much, but they didn't get it.
They didn't
like,
get it. It was like Gremlins.
Yeah, and I was thinking of Rare Experts watching that. It's just that Rare Experts has this feeling of like dread. It's not this. It was never, like, because the Krampus there's, it is a Gremlins. It moves fast, and it's like, you don't know where it is around the corner. Krampus gonna get you. And it's like,
Yeah.
Krampus is like we talked about this. The Krampus walks on the streets.
Yeah.
They're just menacing as they're walking there, as like creatures from another dimension walking, and they don't care. They're gonna get you no matter what. And that's like the feeling of Krampus. It's not some, trickster, fast.
I know.
ninja.
I didn't like Krampus either. Anyway, sorry, Jacob, you didn't see it.
No, I just wanted to ask, like, so I was talking about that. Like, what's your history like with Christmas tradition? Did you guys believe in Santa when you were kids, or that was explained to you?
Well, that's a great question. I don't think I ever did, actually. I don't think so. I think we were like always brought up to like not believe it's real, but still kind of have fun with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dressing up as Santa and more like the pop culture aspect of it, like, movies and things like that. But I really don't think we did.
I don't know if, like, there was a time where there was a time where I think Saint Nicholas was more real than
Back
Santa.
when we lived in Austria.
When we lived in Austria, I think that's a key aspect. In Austria, they have
the boot filler.
Yeah, they have Saint Nikolaus Tag, right? So they have like Saint Nicholas Day, and in Austria specifically, there's like whenever I was in school, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, there would come a time where a man dressed up as Saint Nicholas and a man dressed up as Krampus would show up at school, and we'd all gather together in the gym.
Right.
And he would be giving gifts, and Krampus was there and scared the shit out of me every single time. I was so scared. I knew it was a guy in a costume.
You were scared
That's
of
the
Krampus.
funny
That
thing.
was interesting.
And then there was this one time where I just lost it because we were leaving, because I used to attend a after-school daycare sort of thing, where kids would do homework and we would eat there and we would just hang out, because there were some parents who were busy, so they would stay there until like 6 or 7 p.m. And it just so happened that it was the eve of St. Nicholas Day, and Krampus didn't show up. And I thought, oh no, is he going to show up now at night in the hallways when I have to leave my school? And I lost it, and I cried. And my friends were nice enough to actually take me back home and go with me and walk from the school to my place.
I remember this vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krampus is no joke, man.
And it was because I was like, because like some stupid kid was like, oh, that was him behind the window. And I was like, what?
So it's interesting because I think our parents, they did a little bit play on that like St. Nicolaus thing, where they would fill our shoes and boots with candies. That's what it's done. And actually, a lot of countries in the region do that. I think in Croatia as well, they have that tradition. And so I guess we did
you put your shoes and boots out in front of one of the windows,
doors, I think, or windows.
doors.
I can't remember.
Oh, we just put it like anywhere, like next to the doors.
And then you wake up, and then in the morning, your shoes are filled with candies and things, treats,
goodies.
And there were a couple of times I remember where they didn't want to tell us, like, they wanted to kind of pretend that Nicholas came, and that I would be for a little while. So I guess I maybe did believe in it for a little bit. It's like, but I was always confused, because I always thought, this is gonna sound terrible, I always thought I was like, maybe it wasn't actually Saint Nicholas, but it was like someone dressed up like him. Like, those guys who visit the schools, like Phil's saying.
Yeah.
I was like, how did they hire those guys to come in? How did they do that?
I love the specific get dressed up. So
I asked my dad once, like, we live on like the 4th floor on an apartment building. How does he come in through the window? And my dad said, they have suction cups. They just like Spider-Man.
And ropes.
And ropes.
I remember
and
ropes,
they just
like they
climb up.
They scurry up the ropes. So I guess we did kind of, they kind of pretended that, I suppose. But it didn't last very long, right? Phil was like, like very short.
That's funny, because I think I have the same situation. Like my family's like pretty Christian, and like the whole Christmas thing was very like, that Dickens tradition. It's about family being together, giving gifts and holiday spirit. And it was like, It's about Jesus and his birthday. So like the whole Santa thing was never an option, and they never
Really
talked about like Santa's bringing the like we knew about Santa, but it was like Santa's
like
not bringing you the present. It's like we're giving you the present. None of the Santa. But ironically, same thing with Saint Nick. They kind of left that a little bit secret, like the fool.
Right?
Leave the boots out. They weren't like, I'm going to do it. They're just like, leave your boots up, maybe see, and then the stuff would be there.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing. Santa wasn't a thing, for sure.
Yeah, but like I grew up in Serbia where it's like it's Orthodox Christian, like the main country. So like the traditions were just our family strict, like because Orthodox like Christmas is like way in January because their calendar is like different.
Yeah,
and they do have their own weird traditions like baking weird food and putting bonfires. So I don't know much about that, but like going to Serbia, which is a Catholic, moving to Slovakia, which is a Catholic.
Oh no,
Catholic.
Yeah, Slovakia.
Catholic. They have lots of like Christmas traditions and everything, and funny thing is what I learned is like one, they do have the Saint Nick as well, but also it's not Krampus that comes with them. There's an angel and a devil coming with them. So usually you have Saint Nick like bishop dressed, and then you got an angel and the devil.
Listen to this, Tim. So in some countries, like in Croatia, also Catholic, they have the like story that who delivers the presents of baby Jesus.
Yeah, the Christ child, Kliskin.
Same thing here.
Yeah.
Same here as well.
Which is fun.
Yeah, what is he doing? You should
So
really
like Santa leaks the presents.
I don't know.
Milk.
Well, why is it baby Jesus?
I don't know.
Why is it baby?
Why baby? Wouldn't it be adult Jesus? That would make much more sense.
Because you never see pictures. Like you see Santa bring gifts. You never see baby Jesus.
And carrying presents.
Because I remember like moving here and they're like, oh, what did baby Jesus bring you? I'm like, what?
That's the same thing. I was confused. I was very confused because in my entire life I've never heard that.
Yeah.
It's also in like Latin America and like Brazil, and they also have this like Santa makes the presents, give it to baby Jesus. Baby Jesus.
But that's like
presents.
so much work for baby Jesus. I mean,
I know, right?
He has a lot of work,
and there's like
the
no lore. Like Santa, you have the sleigh, the reindeer. He goes around. He has the elves helping him.
Yeah. Like there's like a sort of explanation of the world. But this to me is like almost like a symbolic thing. But then I just picture baby Jesus running around.
I picture for some reason I picture like 4 people holding up the cradle and just them rushing around. And baby Jesus is
just like it's out of the cradle as a present.
Yeah.
I honestly don't get it, but I guess there is a
what a weird concept. Yeah.
Dude,
Krampus is my favorite. You know what? This is like year 10 that I forgot to go to Krampuslauf, but this year doesn't count. I always wanted to go in Graz.
Oh, that's true.
Graz is so close, and man, I really want to check out the Krampuslauf someday. This is the 10th year I missed it.
Dear listeners, I'm thinking maybe for next year when COVID is over, a special sponsored episode by our listeners to sponsor us 3 and spend a night in Graz and looking at Krampus. We'll give you a special video.
That would be great. Krampuslauf.
We gotta go to Vienna.
We really have to get our game
did.
up with this. Sure. Then we're gonna have to think of something.
That's our goal.
Did you just say you wanted to go to this Krampuslauf thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool too.
I would like. I've never seen Krampus.
Here's a question. Speaking of like Santa and stuff like that, growing up, did you guys have any Christmas traditional movies that you'd watch as a family, or as a kid? Did you like something in specific? I can tell you. I'll try to think about my childhood one. I mean, obviously, when I was in my 20s, it was everyone was cool to say Die Hard is like a Christmas movie. Before
Die Hard is very old.
Something.
But now it's not. That's not cool anymore. Like that's for like normies to say.
Exactly.
Die Hard.
Yes.
I will argue that Die Hard is not a Christmas film. It's a movie that takes place in Christmas. But
it's a good movie to watch during Christmas.
Oh yes. yeah. I want to watch 2. I haven't seen 2 in a long time.
Emma watches like religiously all 8 Harry Potter movies before Christmas always.
Oh, really? For Christmas?
Hey, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Like that's her thing. Like she's getting
Happy Christmas,
up.
Harry.
No, but I wanted to ask you, before, when you were a kid, were there any movies that maybe your parents watched or family members watched, or at family gatherings, or you yourself that you were interested in watching? Maybe you can.
My family wasn't really into like a movie watching thing. Like,
that's true. Really. Yeah, they weren't. But I don't know. Maybe like your brother Stan and stuff. Maybe they would visit. I don't know. Like someone.
They used to put like on TV always Home Alone. Like that was always on Christmas.
Home Alone was a big one. Yeah.
Jacob, I think that like I'm not a big Like,
Yeah,
I guess
I have a movie that I remember me and Phil used to watch a lot. We used to visit our friend's place when we were when we happened to be back then in Croatia. We would come over and we'd always ask for this VHS they had of this movie. What was it called? Christmas with the Chevy Chase Christmas movie.
Like the
National Lampoon's
Yes.
Christmas Vacation.
That's right. And we watched that like so many
That's
times
right.
there. And
Yeah,
for
yeah,
some
yeah.
reason, that's kind of nostalgic now. I think if
should
I
watch it again.
now, we should watch it and see, but I think probably now it'll be much cheesier than I remember. But it got me thinking about the other day, actually I was thinking about this, is that I think it was just a really, different time back when you were like a kid, just without the internet, right? Because you would get excited about going to someone's house, like your family would go visit another family.
Yeah.
And you would be hoping they would have that VHS, still.
Wait, that one VHS?
Like the one
like,
that you saw some other
the
time.
one before,
the
okay.
year before, right?
Yes,
they
yes.
happened to have it and they showed it to you. It's like a copied VHS, and you're just hoping they have it, and then you go and ask, and then they have it, and then that's great for me and Phil. While the adults go talk about boring stuff, we go upstairs and watch the Christmas movie. it's just I love it. It's just fascinating because you had so much patience, and like you think about it, a year is kind of a long time, especially for like a
when
kid.
you're a child.
And you're coming back and waiting for that one thing, and then you go upstairs, and that's your only entertainment. Like you really have nothing else to do at someone else's house, and you're just focused, and you're going to watch this. And then those movies just get imprinted in your mind, right? Whether you're like you mentioned, Tim, those movies you're looking at now on Wikipedia, it's like some random Mel Gibson movie.
Yeah,
you remember because it happened to be the movie to watch. And so I remember that one we watched a lot, and I guess it was also sort of like the classics like Home Alone. And for some reason in America, this movie is like super popular and everyone loves it. It's called A Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas
And
Story.
I remember that was just like, I remember when we were
shoot your eye out,
it was
kid.
like every Christmas, like I think one of the stations, was it like PBS or something?
Never.
CBS?
Oh, this is the kid.
play it
That's
on
the
the
kid
repeat.
from Iron Man. Too.
Yes, he's the co-producer of Iron Man.
Really?
No, he's the guy who gets yelled at for the.
And he's the guy who gets
box
yelled at
of
as well.
scraps.
Yes, but he's also the
That's
producer.
the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I know this kid.
And that
He's in Spider-Man. Then
Yes.
because Revisited.
they would
with
work that
working with-
movie on repeat like for 24 hours or something like that. for
Yeah, they do
Christmas.
that all the time.
And honestly, like I have to say, like I'm not like the biggest fan of the movie. I think it's more like I guess culturally significant, I suppose.
it once.
Because everyone knows all the scenes,
Yeah.
What is it about?
It's just like a sort of small story about this one kid, his perception of kind of Christmas, and what's happening with his town and his family, and he's sort of like belittled and not really respected, and he's like, like it's like a sort of like more like little essays, like going to school and then being bullied at school and then wishing he
with
had a gun.
narration. Yeah.
And then the kid narrates it as an adult, and then his crazy dad who like buys this lamp that's also like a leg, a shape of a leg,
A mannequin leg.
that.
Yeah.
So everyone remembers those sequences.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what other movies we like to
The
watch.
Grinch.
Oh, the cartoon.
That's still Christmas. The cartoon. Yeah.
I have. That's like so not part of my culture. Like I have no idea of anything like the Grinch.
those
That's like
movies,
super
right? Dr.
American.
Seuss.
Yeah. That's something completely out of like
Also,
the
something I
culture I
never,
grew up
for
in.
some reason, never watched was A Charlie Brown Christmas. That's also an American.
Yeah. That's also an
something.
American thing.
But
That's
I
just
never
on my
actually watched
Spotify
it.
playlist all the time. I haven't seen it either, but that soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, the Peanuts intro song is like one of the best things in the world.
The tree song, it's really nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at the list of things. I don't. There was no but maybe like Home Alone because that was all.
Yeah, it's always
TV all
Home
the
Alone.
But the
Home Alone, yeah.
first Christmas like movie, which I would like maybe like, oh, this is a Christmas movie I watch, was probably Nightmare Before Christmas. That's
Wow.
So I was
That's
like,
interesting. I think
What's
there's
this?
people who consider that Halloween or Christmas.
yeah, it's like in
It
between.
feels more
Like you start.
Halloween-ish to me.
Yeah. I would say.
Another movie we watched a lot as kids, I don't know why, but Phil will love this one. It's The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, it's so good.
That's like also a nostalgic one. And we also watched like
A lot of
various
Christmas.
renditions
Yeah.
of the Christmas
a lot
Carol,
of Christmas
yeah.
Carol.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's so many Christmas Carol adaptations. I keep saying adoptions for some reason on this podcast.
we didn't watch the silent film ones, but we watched the one with I forget his name. If
Well, there's a
Tim, if you're looking at a
70s
list, there's one that's black and white, and it's with I I don't know. It's in the 40s. That was a pretty good one. What did you say? Stop motion?
Stop motion? I don't know. There's so many.
There's
And
a
I
Patrick
bet
Stewart one.
The Patrick Stewart one. I remember that one. That one was interesting.
I'm pretty sure every third Christmas Hallmark movie is like a Christmas Carol movie.
Yeah.
They just can't. People can't help
stop.
themselves.
Can't stop.
It's always a Christmas Carol movie.
Someone wants to do a Christmas Carol.
It's like always like
I don't know.
comedy
For me,
actors doing the ghosts. I'm just like,
oh, there's Scrooged. I should see Scrooge. That's with Bill Murray.
no.
Yeah, I want to see that one. I haven't seen that one. We used to watch, for some reason, I remember the movie called The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh yeah.
For some
I've
reason,
seen
we
it.
watched it many times. I don't even know why. We rented
I thought it was like one of your favorite
watched it.
movies, Jacob. No, like when you were a
Maybe it was.
kid.
I don't remember.
Isn't there a sequel to it?
Yes.
There's a sequel. There's a sequel because
There's
guy,
3 sequels. There's like 2 sequels.
So I haven't
the main elf dude who plays I just remember remembering him and then watching like Jude Apatow movies, and he's always there, and I was like it was so weird to me. It's like this kid from this stupid family Christmas movie is just like,
Well, I think they got progressively worse, those movies. But the first one was like sort of a standard-ish 90s issue Christmas movie.
90s Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I'd like to
it's
see
true,
like
though.
the what does that mean? Like the description. Well, what is a 90s Christmas movie? You have to have
okay.
a family,
So
probably, right?
I would say,
Yes.
In my opinion, the cinematography is sort of that flat look, but it looks good. Like, the sort of very cinematic.
Oh, that natural kind of.
It's like minimal.
Flatness.
Yeah, minimal color grading. It's just getting the.
No hard
nicest
shadows,
picture.
unless
Yeah.
it's a mysterious scene. Then
Yeah.
But it's
Yes,
good.
yes.
There's a lot of contrast, dynamic. It's not like it's not bad. And then I guess sort of timely jokes, sort of not like
timely
super
jokes.
referential, but they're just like they would be funny to a 90s audience who are just a generalist audience going to the cinema. They'd be like, ha ha.
And many of the stories would probably have something to do with a businessman or someone who's not in touch with their
That's
family.
yes,
Yeah,
the
it's
dad
like
is
that.
working too much.
Yes.
He's
working too much,
working
has no
too much
time.
to buy presents.
Jingle all the way.
A crumbling marriage, these kinds.
I would never be too crumbling. It would be just like
not crumbling,
a
but
little
it
bit
would
of
be
it.
strained.
Strained, yes.
Yeah,
He's working too hard, and he justifies it because he wants to buy them presents. But then he learns
Correct.
that spending the time with the children is more
That's
valuable
right.
than buying them expensive
And I think the
presents.
Santa Claus was a little different.
Turbo
because
Man.
They made a twist because they had the supernatural element where he becomes Santa Claus,
Yes.
and he has to deal with that. Yeah, Turbo Man. It's not called Turbo Man.
Jingle all the
It's
way.
called Jingle All the Way.
Jingle the way.
This is cool.
And you know what? In the 90s movies, you have to have, if there's some kind of magic element, it has to have that Back to the Future, blim, that kind of like music sting every time something magical
The
is
chimes.
happening. The chimes. You don't
course.
see anything, but the character moves their eyes to the left and something magical happened.
Something magical.
And then the character moves out of the frame, and then you as the audience see the magic that happened, the changes that had happened.
Yes. Oh, so
But yeah,
good.
I mean, I don't know. The only things I also remember are Miracle on 34th Street.
The one with
but
Richard
I think the newer
Attenborough.
one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
then that's like a faded memory. I don't remember very much.
Yeah. Well, It's a Beautiful Life. It's a Wonderful Life. Whatever.
It's a Wonderful Life.
They're two different movies.
So what are you going to watch this year? What are you going to revisit this Christmas? movie?
Revisit? Oof, I don't know. If I'm going to revisit.
I mean, like,
anything.
what are you going to, like, besides the one you're waiting for, Jacob, the one,
The Prince.
the Prince
The
sequel.
Prince.
What are we doing for Christmas? I have no idea, actually. I didn't think about
This Christmas kind of sucks, so I don't know.
it. Yeah.
I already watched my Rare Experts. I guess I could watch Nightmare Before
Polar
gonna watch?
Express.
Man, the
Polar Express. That's a terrifying
This
movie.
is the
That's
Polar
more terrifying.
Express.
That was an interesting time in our lives.
When, speaking of Back to the Future and, oh, Jesus. He had a weird face, man, with the CG
Yeah,
stuff. I'm glad
Imagemovers.
he's done with that.
Yeah, and no one liked it. You know what I heard? I heard that the reason why he did that is because he could be closer to his children and he could spend time with them.
What are you talking about?
Just
Missed
direct
it.
from the Skype.
Yeah,
Robert
he
Zemeckis
just
and his
Robert
weird
Zemeckis,
Yeah.
Imagemovers,
You know-
the CG stuff.
I sometimes wonder, like, whenever I hear about or watch Back to the Future, I just kept thinking about Robert Zemeckis, and I don't know what happened. I wish I could know. Like, I really
something
like to know,
happened.
Well, I told you. He apparently
Polar
he
Express,
wanted
that was
to.
the first one, right?
Apparently, he wanted to be closer to his kids, so he could just direct stuff in the same studio. It was just that CG stuff.
You see, he learned a lesson when watching 90s movies.
Yes.
It's not about the presents. And what did he make first? Polar Express first.
Yeah. There you
for
go.
his kids.
Yeah.
And then Beowulf.
And then Beowulf. And then
Naked Angelina Jolie.
I remember watching
I never seen that movie.
We
I
went
just remember
to
seeing
watch
pictures.
it at the IMAX back in the States,
wow.
right, Phil?
Yes, we did.
And that was like our excursion because we were so excited to go watch 3D IMAX.
Yeah.
And that was like, whew, that was new. And that was such a weird movie.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of nudity if you think about it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I just remember the pictures.
I remember a lot of boobs jiggling about.
That's
I'm
right.
serious. You can go watch it. It's true. And then Angelina Jolie is golden and naked.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
everyone's shouting and they're all mean.
Everyone's shouting and they're mean.
It's true. It's like the king is like, I'm so angry and will do things.
Anthony Hopkins. I'm the king.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest we do like the weird CGI trilogy of the but the thing is that it's like it's a Christmas movie, a naked movie, and then another Christmas movie. Such a weird.
Oh man, that
weird
Christmas Carol! I
combination.
hated that movie. I hated Christmas Carol. Such a bad version.
You watched it?
I haven't.
We watched it, Jacob. Me and you. We just forgot about it because it's that.
I guess it was so bad I forgot about it. Yeah, you're right. There was at the end some Christmas future ghost or something.
Yeah.
And then
Honestly,
he did
you
2
forgot
pilot
so much.
movies. And then he did the new Witches thing, whatever that is. That was for HBO Max, but I don't know what that is about. I guess a I don't know what it is.
I don't
Musical?
know. I don't know anything about witches. No
Robert
idea.
Zemeckis, man. Everyone went nuts over Castaway.
Everyone
It's a
loved
good movie,
Castaway.
but it's like it's a good. It's got some legendary lines and things for memes, but I don't know. Do you think they're
I don't
gonna?
know.
Back to the Future?
There's some Rankin Bass movies that we watched. We watched Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Jacob, remember that one?
Oh, that's right. Hey.
Stop
Is that
motion.
that's the stop motion one, right? With the penguins, the dancing penguins.
I'm assuming there are dancing penguins, but
Oh,
yeah,
not dancing penguins, just penguins.
Young Santa Claus. Young Santa Claus.
With the Santa Claus, with someone who has who's like this frozen man.
Yeah.
Forest.
You're like the ice wizard or something.
Do you remember this, Tim?
I don't know. I
You must have
I did
seen
that.
it.
Just
It's a classic.
what's it called?
It's stop motion. It's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Rankin Bass,
Claus.
the same guys who made the brilliant
Oh.
Hobbit and Return of the King.
But look, if you see some stuff, I'm sure you'll remember.
Jodo.
I don't know. I just remember. No, I never seen this. This is some
That's
weird
crazy.
stuff. This kid looks like a serial killer. No, I just remembered a Care Bear Christmas special because there was like a frosty
We're going
dude
too
there.
far back there.
That I had on a
Bear.
VHS, but I never had the beginning of. I just saw the ending of that. Some frosty dude. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to
Yeah.
Fatman and Rare Experts. Would you guys recommend? I know, Jake, you prefer Fatman over Rare Experts. I prefer Rare Experts over Fatman. What about you, Phil? Where does your heart lie?
I don't know. I just think that Rare Exports is just a much more solid film by a long shot.
I'll agree with you guys. Like technically, yes, like you're right. It is a better film. I'm just saying that personally, watching both for the reasons that I said, and maybe even reasons I don't know, I just like enjoyed watching the second movie more because it was just didn't expect it. It was something different. Whereas the first movie, I kind of expected, in a sense, where it was.
Santa Claus is
tone.
evil. Yeah.
I understood the tones.
I was going to end this podcast, but I have a question that I wanted to bring up about the Fatman.
Okay.
How do you guys feel? I had this weird. I could not understand. Maybe it was just accidentally that it came out that way, but the whole subplot with them getting a government contract and then being buddies with the soldiers had such a weird feeling to it. It felt like it was trying to say the military's okay. It was such a weird, bizarre thing.
I agree with you. That was weird. And I don't know what they were thinking with that, but at the same, I don't know. But I think at the same time though, maybe I'm giving them too much credit here, but I just, again, like, imagine that the movie is this smart and they're just showing you like what Santa Claus might have to do to survive.
Might have to do to survive.
In the 21st century.
It's like the army general respects Santa and he respects how the elves are running. Like I think they were trying to make it funny. Like
I think so.
Look how weird the elves are. That like a general agrees because they're just eating sweets and they're just working all day. But it came off so wrong to me. It was just bizarre. I was like,
I agree. It was really weird. I have no idea what they're thinking. I mean,
so
could be.
These elves versus the other elves.
Oh, that's a new movie. The Screws Kong versus Godzilla. I want the two elves at battling.
So listen, I have a Christmas movie that I forgot to recommend. It's a great Christmas movie, actually. Love Actually. That's what we're going to watch this year.
Love Actually.
I've never seen it.
You should watch
it. I don't know if you guys remember, if any of you listening listen to our Matrix podcast, but when we were talking about Matrix Revolutions, I was talking about Plugged In Magazine, the Christian magazine where they actually tell you all the content that's in these movies and recommended for families or not.
Like for families, like
where a man watches all the explicit scenes and writes down
if boobies
what
are
he
there
sees.
and stuff, right?
Yes, that's right, and then writes down all the profanities, how many F words and stuff like that.
Down, and he looks at all the boobs.
Yes,
these guys.
It was like 4 scenes of boobs or 5. She caresses his testicles.
That was weird.
But that's how
they're shown off screen. Yeah.
So specific. It's like
off screen.
2 breasts are shown visibly.
He
can't see it, but he has to like in his mind
caressing the woman's breasts. Like that's how it's written. Period.
Right.
And
do you think he's like he enjoys it and he just has
that's
like
what I'm trying to say, man. Look,
or is it like really bad for him? Like
I
he's
grew
like
up in that
every
world,
day he sacrifices himself.
And I tell you that there's definitely some people who could be either of those. I guarantee you. It's probably like 50-50.
50-50.
Maybe
Okay.
like 70-50.
All right. Well, I wanted to say
when
that
they were asking for volunteers, he's like,
the first
"Please pick me. Like I'll do it. I'll sacrifice
But it's
myself.
so
I'll
subtle.
watch."
It's so subtle that like no one like it's an open secret.
That's funny. What were you going to say about Love Actually, Philip?
But it's funny because like Plugged In has been supplanted by IMDb because they actually have parental descriptions now on IMDb. And now if you get the power of the internet, there's always going to be someone logging something like that in. You know what I mean?
Plugged In was big back in the Christian world.
Yeah. So I wanted to say I had a copy of that and they reviewed Love Actually and I read it and I was like, it's rated R. Look how many scenes there are in there. Look how many F words there are. This movie's not for, I'm not watching it. I think.
F's and boobs.
Yeah, and even today, I know that if I watched it, it'll probably be great. Jacob, you said it was good. A lot of people said it was pretty good. But I still have that little bit. It started a whole
trend. Like all the movies that came after were kind of like mimicking this one.
Anthology kind of things.
It's a holiday movie and you bring a lot of stars. No, it's like a romantic comedy holiday movie and you bring a lot of stars and you put it in there. People go watch it. This like made that.
Okay.
You know, the
okay.
Whatever it's called, template.
Right. But a little part of me still thinks it's going to be, cruel and mean because of that review I read 17 years ago. You know what I mean? I know it's not going to, but there's a little bit of me that still feels that way. You know
what's funny? Speaking of which, not going to go very back into the Mel Gibson territory, but the What We Want movie. What I wanted to say earlier was that was also a movie, Phil, that like I kind of have this like like sometimes let's say our parents might have said things like there's like sex in there and there's like maybe profanity, like kissy and like people in that movie are like they're trying to say how there's like they're promoting bad values like selfishness and
promiscuous sex and stuff like that.
And like it's just about them and not about what the true things are. And so when I was watching that movie, I was like, ooh, this is like the scary adult world where they're gonna try to tell you
sinful
bad things
people
sinful people telling you things overtly or subtly. And I was just like, whew. So I remember that movie, but I remember watching on the plane. It was like it was nothing really bad.
Mel Gibson. So Love Actually. I'll tell you a little trivia behind Love Actually.
What do you think? Do you like it too or no?
I've not seen. I don't know what it's about at all.
Not you, Phil. Tim.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I think it has its charm. I think we might popping on this season. There's a lot of like actors in there that
It's actually really good. I was surprised because I hadn't seen it until a couple of years ago. And again, like Phil, I heard about it, the plugged in review. No, I actually forgot about that one. But I remember apparently like I heard that there's like so much, sexuality. And then a long time ago, I was like, I can't watch that. But yeah, it's good.
I think the movies that came after, they kind of used the template and were a lot worse, kind of tainted the sort of the idea of it. I think it's a little bit more genuine than the other movies, that came after. So I think it's pretty good. But I wanted to say is that the Jojen kid, the kid from Game of Thrones, the little kid that wants to play the drum to impress that girl singing.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That little girl, she does the voice and sing of Marceline the Vampire Queen from Adventure Time.
Huh.
Really?
Yep. I don't know
what you guys are talking about, but
You got to watch Love, actually.
Okay.
And then you can hear Keira Knightley say, "Love Actually."
With the way that she talks when she juts out her chin.
I'm a pirate. I can't do the voice.
Exactly.
You've got to have
you'll know the moment, Phil, when you see it.
With the sweat of your brow.
And you shall see, they shall see what we can do.
Exactly. Laura, actually. Okay, Christmas.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Mad Max. Sorry. No, not Mad Max.
Mad Max,
Fatman
a Christmas
and
Spectacular.
Well, here's what I haven't
Fatman
watched. I see on
Rare.
the Google, it says The Holiday. Ever watched that one?
What is that? Oh.
Jack Black. It's doing the thing you said, Tim. There's celebrities. There's Jack
It is doing
Black.
the thing. You see?
There's Jude Law. What's her name? Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, it's doing the thing. It's time.
Well,
you bring the
Christmas.
stars and they love each other.
I'm going to watch Batman
Screenplay?
Returns. That's what I'm
By
going to do.
Nancy
It's a
Myers.
Christmas movie.
Who's Nancy Myers?
Nancy Myers sounds very
Directed The
familiar.
Parent Trap.
Oh,
This is a movie for
there
you.
you go.
Oh, look at go to her IMDb and look at
IMDb.
all the fonts.
How are you so fast at IMDb?
I know.
Just go to Nancy
what?
Myers and look at the design for her known for posters. Look at that. Love it.
They're very
that.
the same.
They're exactly the same.
Wow.
I love it. She's got a thing. People love it. They know the font. They know.
Wait, how is it not known for The Parent Trap? That's not cool.
That will not stand.
That's a special section for known by for Jacob.
Yes.
Yeah. What other? I can't even think of anymore. I think we really got all the Christmas
Yeah, we did.
stories.
I mean, there's
true.
probably a couple out there that we missed, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, here's
Let
a
us
great
know.
question. Yes, you tell us.
Yeah.
What are your Christmas movies you watched as a kid, or just Christmas movies you love? I'm curious, actually.
The Christmas shoes. Remember the Christmas shoes?
No.
Oh,
it's
guys,
weird.
you're in for a treat. I'm going to send you this cheesy, terrible country song called The Christmas Shoes. It's full of melodrama and cheesy sadness. You can listen to some
just remember,
honky tonks singing.
Dreadful, like cheap Christian cartoons where it's like, it's people have forgotten what Christmas is about. They're all with their presents and Santas.
Which cartoons?
Christmas.
No, I wouldn't be able to tell you because like they're like super, VHS
Specific.
Like you wouldn't able to find these things really, like from 90s and 2000s. I just remember like
Man, I'm trying to think
those.
if I remember any of those.
Like VeggieTale Christmas. Was there?
That was
there was a
good one with the
VeggieTale
toy.
Christmas.
There was.
Yeah.
The toy.
It's a Buzz.
Toy.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. He had
Buzz
hands.
Hacksaw. Yeah. He had hands. He had skin color.
He had hands. A toy that has hands. Wow. That was a good one.
I think that was like Christmas. Like was like the Christian stuff. Like those.
I think at the end,
probably.
yeah.
Wow.
It's always at the end. That's when
Okay.
they reveal.
It's at the end. So yeah, this was it. So thank you for listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna put up like a poll on our Instagram, Twofold Podcast on Instagram, a question so you guys can write your Christmas like
do that little
childhood Christmas things.
questionnaire.
Yeah, and maybe like what are you gonna watch this Christmas? Because we're all locked up. COVID's rampant. It's still
Yeah.
around.
We're just stuck at home.
We're stuck at home, so better make a fort on the couch and just watch some goodness. Survive until
Yeah, so we won't be here
springtime.
until when? What, February?
Well, we'll find out.
January. Probably
Oh,
most likely. We'll
okay.
let you know. We'll let you know, people. So far, most likely January will pop back.
Phil's already in January.
Yeah,
Phil's
they're ahead of the
When?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
when
gotta
Lorraine-
enjoy the Christmas festivities.
we need to.
Like
we need
sitting
to.
at home,
Yeah.
eating chips.
Mhm. By the way, I got an avocado, and you know how when they bring you avocados, they don't give you the nice soft ones. They're all like, like just
You can
stupid
just
Peel
hard.
the avocado.
No, I just left the
softies.
I left the avocado
Peel the
like for like 4 days, and then it turned into
Mhm.
softness, and then I could make guacamole. And that was nice.
Guacamole.
Yeah,
Ah, see, now you catch it.
guacamole,
I
guacamole.
guess my voice is so monotone you can't even hear me sing.
Just digitalized. Yeah, we're having issues. It's a little delay today, so apologies for the weird.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you see what I mean? Exactly.
Look out for the new single by Danny Kim Hubapon. Bye
the
bye.
weather outside is frightful.
Oh, it's true.
The fire's so
Christmas
delightful.
stuff. And thanks for listening for the
Long
whole
as
year.
you
You guys
love
are
me
wonderful.
so.
Have a great Christmas
Let
holiday.
it snow, let it
or
snow,
whatever
let it
holiday you're celebrating.
snow.
And a
Yeah.
good New Year's, Start that out nice and fresh.
Yeah. Let's forget about what happened. Let's call this 2020
Yeah. Let's
real.
collectively.
2020
Actually,
plus.
A lot happened for me in a good way, but
Oh,
I
no,
think
for
everyone's
sure.
2020 is different.
Yeah.
But we can
I
always
still feel
read
like
it.
it's April.
In general, it's
Take
crazy.
the good and bury take the
Bury the
bad
bad.
and bury it in a big mound.
Yeah. It's still
A block
March
of
for
ice.
me. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Until the Finnish boy blows it up.
It feels like March, dude.
So have a
Phil
great
lost in
holiday
time.
season. Phil will have a great March, and
Thank you. Have a
enjoy.
great Easter. Bye bye.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye. Guacamole. I'm recording. Hang on.
I'm recording too. Also, I have my new headphones. Maybe it'll help with the bleed.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yes. Wait. I have to move my computer a little bit so I can see.
Shining, simmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when
I just
did...
hope that my internet survives. I think it's fine.
What do you mean? Why would it not survive?
Because in this corner, it's notorious of having low Wi-Fi. But it seems okay. Hello? Are you guys there? It's a bit late. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, I thought you said it's always a bit late.
Still recording.
Tracking?
Okay, we got to clap.
Yeah. All right, let's clappity clap.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Jacob?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, clap.
That was In Sync, the band.
It's very good.
The band. It was almost in sync on mine. A little bit like
From yours, all good.
couple millis.
Bye, bye,
Couple
bye, bye,
milliseconds.
bye, bye.
All right, let's do this.
So this podcast
okay.
sponsored by Neural DSP.
What's Neural DSP?
breaks the
Wouldn't
llama's
you like to
ass.
know, Weather Boy?
It's
Very good.
Wait, are we starting? No.